Earlier today, we saw a deeply touched President Obama, the father of two, choked up while addressing the nation about the tragedy at Sandy Hook. ABC's Jake Tapper has been following the president throughout the day, and he brings us the latest.
The day began quietly, normally, as days like this always seem to do. There was not much on the president's schedule today. A bill signing, a meeting with U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Susan Rice following her headline-grabbing news. There was a holiday party. But a madman would make today one of the worst days of the Obama presidency. The president participated in that bill signing around 12:30, but by the time the press secretary came out for the daily briefing a few minutes later, the news, that horrifying news about the reality of the shooting, clearly was known.
At approximately 10:30 this morning,
though the press secretary was reluctant to share any information until it was definitive.
You seem shaken. A lot of us here feel shaken.
I can just tell you that as a father, incidents like these weigh heavily on him.
Shortly after 2 p.m. Eastern, flags were lowered to half staff at the White House and at government buildings and military installations and vessels throughout the world.
The majority of those who died today were children. Beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old.
Shortly after 3 p.m., President Obama reacted, not as a president, but as a parent.
I know there's not a parent in America who doesn't feel the same overwhelming grief that I do.
It was an emotional side of the president, rarely seen in public. He repeatedly wiped away tears and paused to compose himself.
They had their entire lives ahead of them. Birthdays, graduations, weddings, kids of their own.
Today, the president suggested he might take some action.
We're going to have to come together and take meaningful action to prevent more tragedies like this, regardless of the politics.
It was unclear what meaningful action the president intended, whether gun control or something to do with the mentally ill or something else. The only action we knew for sure he would take was this one.
This evening, Michelle and I will do what I know every parent in America will do, which is hug our children a little tighter, and we'll tell them that we love them, and we'll remind each other how deeply we love one another.
The president later today visited with his family and then appeared at a holiday reception. "We had a tough day today," he told the crowd. We did. And there are some people who will now have nothing but tough days for the rest of their lives. This is Jake Tapper for Nightline at the White House.